The podcast is starting before the actual thing. I've had this bug a lot where I double click on an image to
Yeah,
open it up,
yeah, yeah.
and then it's just white instead
Hmm.
of the actual image. I don't know if anybody else has had that, but yeah, here we are. We're just gonna run with that. That was a little pre-show. I'm leaving it because of my bitterness, but anyways, yeah, that's
Jeez. Wow. And that's like the Photos app
yeah.
in
I've had
Windows
it. I've
10.
had it on multiple machines now, where you just double click to open the image, and it's just white, and then
Yeah.
the app will eventually crash, and then restart itself. And
Oh, I think I found the problem. It's UWP sucks. Let me know if you need more technical details.
just trying to breathe into that mic heavily. If
It's
anybody,
funny because you know I'm right.
yeah, here we are back on the road again. So, oh, you got your Note 20.
Yeah, so I'm going to write this up today. It's weird, I've never gotten a review unit from Samsung despite my years of begging. And then this arrived, which is nice, and it's nice because it's the type of thing like I feel like I should be reviewing and writing about it. I can't afford to spend $1,300 on a phone twice a year. It's just too
Yeah.
much. Obviously, it's awesome. The camera bump is stupid large, but the thing I'm most interested in, of course, is the Microsoft integration stuff. And so I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to kind of step through that. But the one I was most excited about was the Your Phone app
Yeah,
integration,
yeah, yeah.
right? You can run, right? It's not good. It's not good at all. Like
Which
there's
side is it
literally
not?
no redeeming.
Is it not
It's,
good on the PC side?
yeah. So it is a problem. It's a problem. So I'll just say, just up front, just real quick. I mean, there are actually several layers to the integration, and each is worth discussing. You may have heard, for example, that there's a Your Link, sorry, your, what's it called? I don't know what
Your
it's called.
phone?
Your Windows something, whatever.
Oh,
Link Your PC,
oh
something
yeah.
like that. There you go. Link Your PC. It's up in the notification shade or whatever they call it, where the quick actions are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's supposed to be an easier way to connect to your phone and your PC, right? So if you've ever done that, you have to do stuff on both sides, like
Yep.
whatever. So you have to install the app, for one thing, on mobile, and it's actually a lengthy multi-step wizard process on both sides. It takes a long time. So obviously, when you see that Samsung has integrated a Link Your PC thing into their actual user interface, this is going to be a lot easier. And the answer is it's not. It is
Mm.
literally the same multi-step wizard process. It's just that it kicks it off for you. So you don't have to know the app exists. You don't have to find the app. It's just kind of integrated into the system. It is, I don't want to say useless, but it is one step less than useless. Like
Mm-hmm.
so that did nothing. All right. So that was kind of a little bit of a disappointment. I must have known this. I think I used this on the previous Samsung, but I just don't remember that part of it. But anyway, the app thing, that is a disaster at every step along the way as well. So
Oh, great.
the issue there, and let me just bring up the app so I can, the issue there is many. So the first one is instability. Every time I run an app,
Mm-hmm.
granted, I've only tried it on this one PC, your phone hangs after that. And then I have to manually crash it. And then when it comes back, the main Your Phone app comes back the shape of of a phone, like it's not, square or whatever. So that's a problem. The list of apps you get they're just alphabetical. They don't have all the folders and stuff. It doesn't duplicate the system you have on the phone, which is fine. Alphabetical is easy enough. And I'm going to run one arbitrarily when I haven't run. What it's really doing is it's not running an app in as itself. Like, for example, my phone is locked right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it's been sitting there. So when I clicked on the app and I clicked on Google Play, movies and TV or whatever it's called, you would assume that that app would appear on the screen, but it didn't. What appeared was the lock screen, because all it really is doing is that ability to display the screen remotely. And that explains why you can only have one app at a time, which is another one of those limitations. You can pin as many as you want, but you can only run one at a time, because all this really is a small modification to the ability to duplicate the screen of the phone on the PC. That's all it is.
Mm.
So it's unsophisticated.
Mm-hmm.
But it's worse than that. So one of the other capabilities that Android has, and Samsung phones have in particular because they support DeX, is the ability to adapt to different aspect ratios. So, for example, you think like an app like Outlook would look like Outlook if you stretched it out. But stretching, you can't stretch it out. All you have is the aspect ratio of the phone, and unless I'm missing something, only in portrait mode. So an app like this, the one I just ran, which I would imagine won't even play content. I have no idea how this works, but you can't. Well, maybe it will. Maybe I should try it. I haven't actually tested playing a movie, so let me do that real quick. But no, actually that worked. Okay, I apologize. That worked fine. So that's good. You can't. I haven't found a way to manually put it into. Okay, but of course now I've gone back to my library in the app, and it's stuck in that aspect ratio or orientation. Okay, so I one of the apps I tried earlier was Spotify. Play music. It does play music. It plays music through the phone speaker.
Yeah, I can see.
You know what I mean? Like you can kind of see like it's a cascading series of things, and so as you're kind of defeated at every step along the way, you're like, oh God, this is less and less useful as I go. Oh man, this is disappointing. And then you're like, well, all right, I'll close this app and try another one, and then the whole thing hangs. You have to like task manager go find it and kill the whole thing, and it comes back as a stupid little app window. And yikes. And this is like pretty much the best phone you can buy today, folks. Like it's not the phone, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'd love to know if there's any readers or listeners, I should say, out there who actually use your phone. I'd be curious, other than the biggest thing to me that is potentially useful in that is text messaging.
Well, okay, so I mean, that integration exists in the app already. Like it has its own interface for that, so it kind of sits on top of it. Of course, if you use something like WeChat or some chat app, whatever it might be, like I mean, in that case, you're going to want to run the app, and I'm sure that's fine. Like I'm sure it's fine. Other than the fact that you're stuck with you can make it big to the height of the screen, but it retains that aspect ratio, which is okay. It's okay. I'm trying to like. Let me just see it's hung. I can't. I'm trying to do this, and it's hung. It just hung. Of course it hung. It hungs every time. So, I was going to test something else, but I'll kill it and then, bring it back, and it won't even kill for some reason. And geez, Louise, seriously die. Okay. This time it came back as the horizontal little landscape phone shape. Okay, whatever. I was going to run the phone screen thing. So it's still there. Okay, it's fixed. Sorry, I wanted to go to.
Take your time.
It's just hard to use. Like it's disappointing because obviously the ability to arbitrarily run Android apps in their own windows, right, have some facility for aspect ratios. I would consider running the Outlook mobile right on my PC. I would love to do that. I want that app on my PC, but it's not going to work, and I'm not going to run it in that aspect ratio. And then so I mean I just don't use. Okay, no, it won't even. I can't stop it from playing, Brad. Oh, this is the worst. There it goes.
All right, no idea what that's like.
Yeah, I was just playing a song, and then I was like, just to verify that through the normal interface where you're mirroring the display of the phone, it comes through the phone, which people probably are using. I just don't use it, so I just am not aware of this, which is fine, I guess. No, it's not fine, but that's one level of crappiness. But then I'm like, okay, obviously I don't want to listen to this music anymore. We're recording a podcast, but the play button on the mirrored screen still doesn't have a pause thing on it for me to click. It just says play, so clicking it doesn't do anything. It's just like. It's so terrible, Brad. It's just disappointing.
How's the rest of it? Have you used the camera at all?
Yeah, the camera's great. Today was unfortunately a bad day. It was hazy this morning when I went out to take pictures. But, one of the things I miss, whether I'm on the Pixel 4 XL, the 4A, I'm sorry, which I've been using recently, is the ultra wide mode. And Samsung, of course, has, in addition to crazy zoom capabilities. So I did do a couple of tests with that where it's like, normal, wide.
Just smacked my mic really hard.
Yeah, and then zoom. And they also have like I think it's a 108 megapixel main camera, which is a wide angle lens. you can actually go in a mode where you can't change the zoom at all. Like it's just, but it will literally use 108 pixels. And I think like a photo is like over 25 megabytes, like some huge size or whatever. But it is, like you can get the resolution. So I'm kind of screwing around with that. I haven't done too much with that, but this screen is amazing. It's amazing. The performance obviously is crazy. This might be literally the nicest screen. Like it's so bright and vibrant and awesome. And I would say for the camera, like I kind of like the Huawei oversaturated photos, but this sits kind of nicely in the middle. Like especially if you use, there's a little button in the viewfinder for optimizing the scene, and it will do it based on what it thinks you're looking at, food, nature, whatever. It kind of strikes a good balance between what I think of sort of dull photos on the Pixel 4a or the Pixel 4 and maybe the overly vibrant photos from Huawei. And it's kind of in the middle. Honestly, it's probably a pretty good balance. But I haven't done any low light stuff yet or anything.
Yeah.
I assume it's at least as good as the one I had before, which my wife now used. You saw the picture of the eagle my wife took, right? The photo was zoomed in from afar with basically the same camera system. It's a nice setup.
It's crazy how good phone cameras have become, especially on the optical zoom side. It really is.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's stupid. Yeah.
There's nothing to it. It's crazy. Yeah, those engineers deserve all the credit that they get because
it's beautiful too. Like this kind of bronze thing. It's nice. Like it really, but it's also like a bar of soap. But of course they don't.
Yeah.
If I had, like, say I had purchased this and I was like, well, I might return it, so I'll buy it, but then maybe I'll return it. I still would have bought a case just to protect it. Like Samsung sends these out. I'm just walking around. I'm afraid to even hold it. It's like it would just slip out of my hand if I wasn't paying attention to it. It's so slippery, But yeah, it's beautiful. It's a really nice phone. How about the Surface Duo, Brad? What can you say? Day 2.
It's still in my possession. Did you see? So I think I'm going to do an entire series on Twitter of me just mocking all the execs who would just casually put it to the side.
I'm begging you to do this.
Yes.
You should spend the next 2 weeks just doing that.
I did it with some people like the joke just went wherever they're like yesterday I pulled out an apple, like a giant, like the largest knife I had, a bread knife. And like just put it on my countertop. I was like, I just cut up some fresh fruit, and then people are yelling at me like, you need to put something under that between your counter. You shouldn't be using a bread knife. Like, totally missed the point. But that's
well. Here's a bit of advice. Admittedly, this is self-serving. You could, well, you'll understand why in a moment.
Go on.
It was funny. I'm just thought this or something like it. Let's put it that way. You should hashtag each one of these. Ship it or shut up.
Oh God.
Just my own form of bitterness. There it is.